Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Kung Fu Science. Today the MOD, that's the Ministry of Defence in the UK, released their fourth batch of files about UFOs. Obviously it's silly season in the newspapers, and so this is always good padding out for them, but really to me it's not a lot of a story, and this is why. 99% of UFO sightings do have a rational explanation. For example, the majority of them happen near airports. Wonder what's going on there. For example, the Perseids we've recently had, nights like those also often produce tails of lights in the sky, which is unsurprising because there's a meteor shower going on. And again, when they're coupled with tales of alien visitation, where people actually see extraterrestrial entities, they need a little bit more evidence. Consider, if I were to tell you that I'd had a lovely breakfast smoothie this morning, you probably wouldn't care, but I could show you my smoothie maker if you really wanted. Granted, I have given it a wash since, but you get the idea. If I were to tell you, though, that as I went down to make my smoothie, Zeus himself came down with food from heaven, and it was fed to me by Aphrodite, and it was a wonderful experience, I didn't want to leave and go to work, you'd say, well, hang on a minute, where exactly are these Greek gods and goddesses and things? You want more than my word for it, and rightly so. On top of that, consider a lot of the alien sightings that happen. People tend to describe the aliens as looking humanoid, fairly like us, 2 arms, 2 legs. And again, we're quite sceptical of this because if you think about all the wonderful different types of life that are out here, evolution is directionless. It hasn't driven us to a humanoid form. It's just what we've been left with because we evolved from fish, and those fish that started to crawl up onto the surface, things like Tiktaalik, they evolved from things with 4 fins, which gave us the 4 arms that we have. It's really unlikely that on another alien planet they're going to evolve in a similar way and have similar forms. So again, we're slightly sceptical, and being sceptical doesn't mean you have a closed mind. It just means that you question things a lot. Now, some people are going to come back and they're going to say, aha, but what about that 1% that's not got an explanation? And I say, well, what about it? What explanation have you got? Saying that it's an alien from another planet, is that any better than me saying, I honestly don't know what it is? It could be an alien from another planet, but what about other explanations of it potentially being actually simply a plane or a light in the sky from some other source? So when you're being sceptical with these things, we're not being closed-minded, but we're wanting a little bit more evidence, because just saying that it's an alien isn't any more of an answer, really, and actually leads to a lot more questions. For example, how do they cross the vast distances of space and land and not make a successful mission? Because if they've managed to cross the light years of space to get here and they want to take you away, it's we're fairly sure that they should have the technology to succeed. So anyway, that's just my take on these UFO stories. And just one last point as well, you'll also notice that in 1996 the amount of sightings increased by, I think, more than the previous 3 years put together. This coincided with the release of the film Independence Day, in which aliens come to destroy us all, but Will Smith saves the day. I hope I haven't spoiled it for you, but it's been out for 13 years now. And on top of that, the X-Files was at the height of its popularity. And I think that says a lot more about the possible ideas of the UFOs that are seen than anything else. Now, with that out of the way, the other exciting thing that I found was a website called Bad Psychics, which is a group of skeptics who, again, look rationally at claims for psychic and ghostly phenomena. And they're really good, and it also led me to another YouTube channel called Disillusion, who also demonstrates how a lot of ghost videos get faked, and he shows the methods and things that they have used. So this is just basically a nice episode about skepticism. It doesn't mean that you're closed-minded, it just means that you want to have a little bit of evidence for claims, and there's nothing wrong with that, in the same way that if there isn't any evidence, you can ultimately say, well, I don't know, yeah, maybe it was a ghost or a visitor from another planet, or possibly it was just a bit of a trick of the light. So, I hope you're all well, and enjoy the Perseids last week. That's it for this time, and till next time, take care.